Hey guys, Zangetsu 134 here, bringing you Kamen Rider Build episode 19 review. So, this episode was kind of interesting as it was kind of more or less just a bit of, not really filler, but basically just a build-up episode to the next episode where we would see Build get the hazard trigger. In this episode, basically, we learn about the Hokuto Crow Trio and Grease. And we also get more about what's going to happen with Ryuga if he keeps using the Cross Z charge mode, as the belt is slowly killing him, and arguably slowly killing Grease, but we've yet to see that happen to Grease. And we also see that, Blood Stalk has more stuff going on, and we also see some more behind-the-scenes stuff at Nanba Heavy Industries. The fact that Gentaku's old assistant, Utsumi, is now at the head of Nanba Heavy Industries and is most likely the one that built Grease, his Splash driver. So, alright, so we find out that the Hokuto Crow Trio and Grease are hiding out in a barbershop where they talk about trying to find Miton, aka Misora, and B, also their plans to get all the full bottles from Kamen Rider Build. While this is going on, Build and Ryuga are planning on hiding all the full bottles in different locations so that they can't all be taken at once. And Gentaku tried to go to Nanba Heavy Industries to stop the production of the Splash driver after he found out that clearly they were the ones that gave Hokuto the weaponry that they need. This is also where we get the backstory of the Hokuto trio in Grease. And really the other two don't go very well since Hokuto basically wins back the full bottles, and we find out that Utsumi is the one that helped create the Splash driver. But more or less the main part of the story is basically just that that we get to see the origins of the Hokuto trio and Grease. As previously established, when the Skywall launched, certain things were altered in the various countries. You know, from turning people that were near the Skywall crazy or evil to doing things to Japan itself. In Hokuto's case, the soil had been rendered infertile, i.e. it was no longer able to grow food. And I guess Grease and the Hokuto Crow Trio were farmers, or at least grew crops to take care of their families. It's weird. I know I shouldn't be surprised that Japan has farms, but I never realized that there was a large agricultural industry. I always assumed that a large portion of their food and such came from fishing and such. I really didn't know that there was a large agricultural market. I figured they mostly imported a lot of their vegetables and such. But I should know. As someone who lives on a farm, everywhere needed farming. I didn't assume really that there was a large agricultural sort of thing, but mostly because they're an island, and I would assume they wouldn't really have space for large amounts of agriculture. Anyway, getting off track. Basically, Grease and would use all of his money to help the Hokuto trio and their families. And when the money ran out, they all subjected themselves to experiments by Hokuto, turned themselves into Heavy Smash and Hard Smash and Kamen Rider Grease, respectively. And I guess Mitan was one of the things that helped Grease keep positive about everything. And also why he takes care of the Hokuto trio despite the fact that they constantly goof around and mess up. So yeah, but as this is going on, they eventually have to, go look for the full bottles, as the Hokuto's prime minister is getting a little bit impatient with them and says, if you don't start getting me results, I'm going to have to find some way of boosting your guys' ability, or we're going to just start doing actual war instead of, having you guys go over there and get the stuff while I wait, because, I will injure harmless, innocent people if, it's war. And, Grease doesn't really want to do that. He may like a good fight, but he doesn't want innocent people getting hurt, which I kind of like. It's a nice noble trait for a villain rider. As I think Kamen Rider villainous riders should have some form of decency. So yeah, basically they get into a fight with Build and Cross. Sorry. I should wait a little bit until more woke up, but I wanted to get this out of the way because I meant to do this like Tuesday, but we had the cable guys come to check out our cable. Wednesday I had to work early, and I didn't want to try and get it squeezed out after work. So yeah, they all get into a fight, and then Blood Stalk shows up and was like, "Hey, everybody, stop what you're doing. I'm going to introduce a new toy. I mean, I want to see your hazard readings." I know, it's just kind of funny because Stark just shows up and basically gets hazard readings for no real reason. I guess basically because, like, we hadn't seen Blood Stalk in a while, and it shows that, he's still a major plot point. Either that or he was just watching to see how much his experiments for Hokuto were doing. But then he noticed also that, like, Krazy and Bill were clearly catching up. And he basically does readings and shows that Grease is currently the strongest with I think a hazard of like over 4. The Hokuto trio and Build being like 3.7 or 3.6-ish. Actually, no, the trio are, I think, the weakest with the 3.7 and 3.6, respectively. Build has, I think, 3.9, and Krazy has 4. I think, if I remember correctly, Grease is like 4.2, 4.5, something like that. The numbers I didn't really completely pay attention to, just knowing like that the two Splash Driver riders have higher hazard triggers than the others, to show that they're slowly growing. And in fact, Blood Stalk uses the fact that Krazy is still getting stronger thanks to the Dragon Jelly and the Splash Driver to point out that, they're running out of time, and sooner or later Build and Krazy could both surpass Grease and the Hokuto trio, and it would be all over. However, he has a plan in that he would use the hazard trigger to boost their hazard functions, as he had managed to get the data for the hazard trigger when he stole the Splash Driver data way back in an earlier episode of Build. And like how Utsumi came back from an earlier episode, but I will give this series credit. It does at least not leave plot points dangling or not do a lot with said plot points. Like, every plot point has been important so far, and I appreciate that. But anyway, basically the hazard trigger is something that allows the ability to boost hazard trigger or hazard levels in order to get stronger. However, it's a very dangerous weapon, in that it will constantly make you stronger, but it takes too much toll on your body, and if you lose using it, the power will be too much and you die. At least this is the case with the heavy smash. Eventually, they decide that they want to get stronger, or else Grease Grease doesn't want to use the hazard trigger or on himself or the smash, whereas Hokuto wants to use it on them, regardless of whether or not they live or die. And the smash decide to get the upgrades, as they want to help Grease no matter what. Which of course is probably going to backfire on them and get them killed. Sorry. But they do so anyways, and they instead become no longer are heart smash. They are now hazard smash, which is basically just a black repaint, and not even like a super great black repaint, because you can see a little bit of their color through the suits. Although I think that was the point. To show that it wasn't like a great like an amazing upgrade, that it was basically just a power boost. And they fight, and it also shows that Krazy is slowly going more and more power crazy as Sento realized. And like this whole episode has been basically Sento trying to convince Ryuga to stop using it, as it's killing him. And like, in fact, he's getting more covered in wounds, because A, he's recklessly just fighting and going all out, and B, he no longer listens to Sento, as it's driving him crazy, and he just doesn't want to listen to how Sento doesn't want to fight the war. He just wants to stop it. Whereas Cross is willing to kill the Heart Smash in Greece if it means ending the war. But yeah. So they fight. Now Build's no longer a match for the Hazard Smash as he was in the previous episodes, even with using like just basic build best matches, and not even like Rabbit Tank Sparkling is a match. And so Cross steps in, but because they're all now at the same level of Grease as well as Grease, he gets pretty badly beat up until Grease is like, all right, I'm not going to let you guys get hurt. We're going to get out of here. And he uses the helicopter full bottle in his twin breaker. No, in the Splash Driver to create a helicopter blade and escape with them. We also in this episode saw that he has an eraser full bottle that allows him to like create like an erase wall, or like an illusion of them getting erased and disappearing. That was also kind of cool. But yeah. And as they're getting away, Ryuga's slowly being driven more mad by the Splash Driver, and Sento's like, no, don't, you gotta take the belt off, it's gonna kill you. And so, Krazy tries to take off, and he even does so using the Hawk full bottle in the Splash Driver, which gives him the Hawk wings that any Hawk match or Hawk form uses. As long as you have the Hawk full bottle, you can fly, or at least I think you can fly. Perhaps not. I know at least Hawk Gatling can fly, but I don't know about the other matches. I would assume they would. I assume they can. Same with Phoenix, actually, I would assume. So yeah, and he tries to take off, but the power overloads and he falls and is like badly injured. And Misora and journalist lady, whose name I never ever remember because she's kind of pointless in the show, get out of the car because they're going to help. And Misora touches Ryuga, and the bracelet glows and heals all of his wounds, which has not been something she has seen able to do. I think more than likely because those are wounds generated by full bottles, as she had the ability to purify full bottles, or that perhaps like she can purify like the effects of full bottle poisoning or something. Like the full bottle or the Splash Chili power, since the Splash Chilies are just purified versions of full bottle powers. But regardless, Misora does so, and then she passes out from using the power of her bracelet without being in the machine. So I don't know if that means she's going to be in a coma for the next couple of episodes, or if she's just going to be passed out from, like, for a little bit from using it. But regardless, Build, knows about the hazard trigger now, and we see that Misora has a strange new ability that will affect Ryuga. And of course, this is all build up to the next episode where we will be introduced to Rabbit Tank Hazard form. So yeah, that was episode 19. In general, I think it was a good episode, if just a little bit fillery, just basically a basic setup filler episode where not really a lot happens, but it just shows how the conflict has evolved and how it's going to continue to evolve and what needs to be done on the side of the heroes in order to stop it. And usually this happens when you get new riders introduced to show how powerful they are. Especially in the case of Grease. And so, we see how they are going to have to get stronger. This is probably also going to be, like, how we eventually get to, Kamen Rider Rogue, as, Night Rogue has basically been non-existent since his defeat. Which I don't think it's supposed to imply, like, that his full bottle was destroyed or anything. I just don't think he wants to use the Night Rogue powers since A, Blood Stalk hasn't shown up to use his powers, really, and B, he's too busy trying to pretend that, he stopped being a member of Faust, so I'm guessing he can't use Night Rogue because of that, or something. But anyway, yeah, no, I think it's a good episode, and I can't wait for 20 when we get Rabbit Tank Hazard. That's gonna be fun. But anyway, guys, I think that's gonna be it for today. I am trying to figure out a way to maybe get more videos out, or at least maybe go back to doing 2 videos a week, since we no longer have my DuckTales vlogs until DuckTales comes back. Like I said, I will probably do My Hero Academia Season 3 when it comes out, as I've become really enamored with My Hero Academia. Otherwise, we'll see. But anyway, guys, that's it for today. I will catch you later. Take care.